So we are going to, this meeting is going to be recorded. So some of you who are not comfortable to be recorded, you can just turn off your video. And first we would like to invite you to change your names to what you'd like to be called in this space. And yeah. When the music is off, like all of a sudden silence comes. But before the session, we have small little questions to you, and so as to wake you up as well. And the question would be, what would you be doing at this time if you are not with us? And we are trying to ask you to use a verb to describe and share it in the chat box. And for me, it would be golo golo. That's a Japanese word for resting and relaxing. And so you can also follow me using any verbs from any languages that you are comfortable with and type into the chat. Eating dinner. Watching movies. And while watching the typing in the chat box, watch out, like be careful, like to find people who have typing the similar verbs as you, like you did. And remember this person's name. And if you encounter this person in the breakout rooms in the following sessions, just to say hi to him or her.
It's interesting to see this because especially today, many people are joining from very different time zones, I believe. Thank you for coming instead of having a dinner. I hope you had time to have dinner too before.
Videos, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can slowly start the time. What do you think?
I think you can share the slides as well.
Whenever you're ready, the thing.
Yes. So as it was showed on the screen, today's topic is going to be becoming aware of broken relationships, and it's in our daily lives. Natsuha is going to start the introduction.
Hi everyone, it's nice to see you today. Thank you for coming. I'm the co-facilitator of this workshop today, Natsuha. I'm studying a master's degree program in Finland right now in the program of education and globalization. And my main research interest is in education for peace building. And we, Detin and I came up with this workshop idea because thinking about educational peace building, I think, and we think it's very important to think about relationship building in our daily life as well. And we wanted to look at relationships that are very close to us, family and friends and people who are surrounding us as well. So we wanted to talk about what relationship issues or relationship building issues do we experience in every day. And we wanted to try to start with becoming aware of the relationship building issues, as well as broken relationships that we have in this workshop with you today. Nice to meet you all. And over to you, Ditin.
So I'm Ditin. I'm now studying as a PhD candidate in peace and conflict studies in Osaka, Japan. And restoring relationships through trauma healing is my topic of research and also of my life. And for me personally, I think broken relationships is everywhere in our daily lives. And simply because we are, I think most of us are holding these traumatized or biased bodies. And and these traumatized or biased bodies, some of you might thought it's kind of a serious problem, but I want to say it's a quite normal thing in our lives. And the traumatized body, what I mean is like we are usually traumatized by a lot of historical wounds or general wounds from our past life experiences that haven't been well healed. And for the biases, it's like as we grow up, we learn a lot of new things, new knowledge and new norms, customs from our families, school educations, and even the mediums. So like among those new learnings, some of them might create a lot of biases that is hiding within your bodies that you don't aware, most of them. So like not availing those parts of biases, we are easily to create a lot of broken relationships. So in our workshops, our aim is also to offer this space to have a chance to be aware of those kind of inherited traumas or biases within our bodies, and so as to aware of those different kinds of broken relationships. That's all.
So today's program, we have 4 different breakout rooms, and then all the interactions for the breakout rooms are going to be in the main room. And also we have the sharing time for each breakout room as well in the main room. And we really wanted to make a safe space with you all today to share our personal stories today as well, if you wanted to. So we would like to set some ground rules for the safe space today. First one is to share only what you want to share, what you feel comfortable to share. There's no pressure for you to share what you don't want to share in this space. And also we would like to encourage this culture of mutual understanding and caring for each other as well. And even though we are speaking now in English, and then English might be the mutual language for all of us, all languages are welcome. So if you, for example, don't know what to say in English and you would rather want to use another language, you're welcome to do so. And I'm sure some people can help you within this main room or inside the breakout room. So you're encouraged to use any language that you would feel most comfortable with as well. And also breakout rooms are not recorded. So even if you don't want to show your face inside the main room, you can also turn your camera on if that's what you feel like inside the breakout room as well. So please do what you feel comfortable. So let's go to the first breakout room, which is Icebreaker. And the question for you to be talking about is, what are broken relationships to you? There's no correct answer or anything to this question, but what are broken relationships to you? You can talk about this within the breakout room in a pair, in 3 people, I guess. Yeah, sorry. For 5 minutes. So once you're invited to the breakout room, please have a chat with your other participants inside the breakout rooms together.
Start this one. I think most of them are back. So how was the first breakout rooms? Like, we want to invite anyone who wants to speak up to share a little bit about what you've talked about in the breakouts, and or are there any issues in the breakout rooms, or you don't feel comfortable to talk, like suddenly with a lot of people you don't know, like anyone wants to speak up, it's okay, just unmute yourself and speak up.
It's also okay if not. But was it difficult to talk about what broken relationships are, or was it easy in general?
じゃあ、to break a broken relationship, we talk about our experience in the past, but we feel, I personally feel bitterness and helplessness, and how can I say, the other person's story is also equally painful. I mean, left the pain in my heart. It's a sorrow, sad and helpless, because broken relationship does not have a chance to mend, and but we don't know if the broken relationship or relationship naturally dissolved or disappeared from in somewhere, and maybe can revive, or any chance to, how can I say, get back to the almost like a original relationship after some time. That is our question. So anyway, it was very interesting beginning. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, John. Anyone else want to speak up? Oh, Martin, you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah, so we had like interesting discussion with Aileen and as well as with Jiahui. Sorry guys if I don't remember all of our points, because that's the effect of not having coffee like next time, and now I'm like a kind of sleepy person in the moment. But anyhow, so for us, like broken relationship is about like the two persons like or like groups cannot in some way like having not having proper communication. That was one point. Second point was about the mismatch of expectations of how this relationship should look like, and thus you have like a tension ongoing. Last but not least, Jiahui put like to the notion of trust, that it's not like a problem if it's like very formal relation, because then you have like a sort of distance. But once you have like a very intimate one, then once you don't have a trust towards the person or the group, then it's broken.
You guys just have a very deep dialogues about the broken relationships. Thank you so much for the sharing. I think if there's no one wants to share, we will move on to the next breakout. So Natsuha.
Yes, thank you for sharing. I feel like there are many meanings and definition to broken relationships as well. So the next breakout room would be role play 1. So we have prepared some examples for you to choose from with your pair. This time it's gonna be for the pair activity. And role play should be very short. It should be about 1 minute times 2. So you can switch the roles. And again, like any languages are welcome, and also facial or body expressions are welcome as well to share your expressions. And then we will share our feelings and thoughts when you're back in the main group later. So here are some examples. So in school, teacher and student. Teacher doesn't let student question. Family, parent and child. Child refuses to talk to the parent. And in the workplace, senior and junior. Junior has to obey or do whatever senior orders. And then partners or friends. One partner or friends thinks that the other is not able to understand. We'll show you these examples again later. We'll come back to it. But now, a quick example by Detin and I. We'll do the partners example. So Natsuha, I think that Detin, my partner, is not able to understand me or what I do. So I come home from work. I'm home. Tadaima.
Kylie, how's your work today?
Yeah, good.
Like, I'm just curious, like we've been together for like over 3 years and I have no idea what is your work, and can you talk about it?
Well, my work is complicated. It's muzukashi, it's complicated. So I don't want to explain. You will not understand.
But if you try to explain a bit, maybe I can understand, please.
No, I don't think so. Can you stop asking?
Hoba, as you always say.
So this was the example. And again, these are the 4 different scenarios that you can choose from. So now I think you will go to the breakout room with the pair, and then you will try this with your pair, whichever that you want to try with your pair. It'll be a 5 minutes breakout room, and then see you soon. Hello again. How was it? Maybe you need a little bit of breathing in. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask how this experience was for you. How did you feel? What did you notice? How was your experience? Was it uncomfortable or not? If you want to share how you felt, please feel free. Was it difficult?
I can share. So I was playing the role of like the boss, like a female boss who is really busy and she has children and a family at home, but she's never really able to go home. But then her junior is still new, so she doesn't know how to do the work well. So I was telling her off and saying she needs to do a better job. But it felt it was weird. It felt easy because I knew I was powerful. and I knew that based on the requirements of work, I was going to be right. So whatever I said, I was going to be, I didn't have to worry about how she was feeling so much. And I knew that I also was going through stress. So I felt like my stress and anger was justified. Yes. I felt very powerful.
Thank you for sharing, Moe. Yeah, being aware of the position that you are in also gives you the powerful feeling as well. Anyone else? How did you feel in this role play?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the senior in the role play, and the junior asked me for help. I said I was doing my homework. I was working and very busy, and I feel very cool to see that. And when I said that, I really thought that my work is important, and his question is not that important, and I'm not. I'm ignoring. Sorry, I ignore his feelings. Yeah, that's my thing. Thank you.
You felt like you were ignoring the other person's feelings.
Yeah.
Thank you for
and
sharing.
I feel very, very comfortable and powerful and cool.
Right. Thank you for sharing. You wanted to speak, Suyeon? Oh, no. Okay. Anyone else who wanted to share? Martin?
Yeah, so we and Paul, sorry if I cut your name correctly. We were playing the role of like two friends meeting, and one friend is trying to explain to another one like what's going on, and the second person, that's me, doesn't understand, like, doesn't listen to the person, and and for me it was problem of immersion that I encountered such conversations before as a person who wanted to speak out, and also as a person who is dodging somebody. So it was like more of a rationale that I know how do those people think when they're like, just basically dodging, like, somebody, like saying like, don't worry, everything will be fine, life is beautiful. Oh, you exaggerate, you don't understand. But at the same time, it's something that I cannot identify myself anymore. I wouldn't say that so. But still such a problem exists. So there is awareness that it's going on. So that's my take.
Thank you for sharing, Matching. Anyone else who would like to share what you felt or what you noticed? Did this role play? Oh, Junko-san.
Oh, Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I didn't notice. I muted myself. Anyway, so we we play like office situation, and this male supervisor was always frustrated and angry, and don't listen to the his subordinates, and he always say, "What you doing?" And I told you this and that. And why you don't understand? Something like that. And then we are doing this role play, and it was very interesting thing is that my partner was trying to mend, try to, how can I say, give another alternative views, and he did not give up. So if my partner can allow me to ask you to what was your feeling then trying to talk to this supervisor in this role play? How did you feel? May I ask? Can you talk, or if not, it's okay.
Maybe not. Oh, did you want to speak up? If not, that's really
It's okay.
Yeah, it's really okay. But
really
thank
okay.
you. Thank you for sharing, Junko. Okay, anyone else who still wanted to share? If not, that's also okay. And we can move on to the next activity. Over to you, Detin.
Can you share the slides? Thank you. So the next breakout rooms will be storytelling. I know during the last sessions, we have a lot of stories being shared, but for this session, we would like to invite you to share stories of broken relationships that you've seen, you've heard of, you've experienced with a group of 3 people. And I know that many of us are not very used to this telling story, especially of our own stories. So it's not necessarily that you share your own stories, and it's okay to share the stories of someone else, or even the stories that you heard, read from news or books. And also, even if it's your own stories or your own experiences, feel free to share it the way that you are comfortable with. Like you can tell it as if it was someone else's stories. And during the sharing, if you felt it's uneasy, and just slow down and have a deep breath. And if you don't want to share anymore, you can just stop sharing. And I just want to note that members in the same group, if you have those kind of cases happened, please do take care of each other. And if extra help is needed, just call us who are remaining in the main room. I think you will, when you enter in the breakout rooms, you will have a button, right? Ask for help at the very bottom. So click that button if you need any help from us. And in total, I think for these breakout rooms, we will have 15 minutes. So each of you, 3 of you, each will have like 5 minutes to share your stories. So if Karen is ready, we can send. Yeah. So it's open. think everyone's here. Welcome back. And this time we would like to ask or invite any of you who want to speak up as well. Like, for example, which story happened in your groups impressed you the most, or like you felt like Junjun has mentioned the most, the bitterness and the hopeless kind of feelings coming up from which kind of stories. And if you feel like, or if your group members feel like to share with the main group. And also we would like to invite you to share. I think that's the discomfort or comfort, or the easiness or the uneasiness that you have experienced during that story sharing sessions.
Okay, I'll share my story.
Yeah.
I was talking about when my son was in elementary school. He had a classmate, and him and his classmate's family, we got together every year to go skiing. And it was really fun. We really enjoyed it. But one day, one of the mother talked to me and said she became some kind of fundamental Christian. And she said that she doesn't accept other religion. And she knows I'm a Catholic Christian, but she knows that I've been doing interfaith work with, other people from other religion. So she said, I'm sorry, but I cannot be friends with you anymore. So no more skiing trips, no more. And I felt really sad because I really enjoyed the skiing trip, but I also wanted to respect her in a sense, instead of telling her, no, that's not right or whatever, but I just thought maybe I need to respect that. And so I asked her, I understand, but I would like my son and your son to remain as friends. And so she said, that's okay. So I think they were friends for a while. And but I felt helpless in a sense, and I couldn't do anything about it in a sense. So I don't know. That was many years back. My son and his classmate are now 36 years old. So yeah, so that was something like 20 or 30, no, 20 somewhat years ago. And I haven't talked to this person yet. And I still feel, kind of sad. Yeah. So, but helpless, I guess.
Thanks for sharing, Cassie.
Sure.
It's like most of the time when we are talking about the religious issues, we will think big, like, the international kind of issues, but actually it's also happening in our daily lives, which is, I think, is creating a lot of kind of broken relationships, which brought a lot of helpless kind of feelings. Yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
Anyone else want to share as well? Mary.
Hi, everyone. I'm joining a little bit late. Apologies. But I just wanted to say how so unexpected. I don't know how to say. I'm so grateful for this space where with people I've just met, I can talk about some of the most painful things happening in my life. It's a very rare thing to have happen, but I'm currently experiencing a really broken relationship that this has probably been the hardest year of my life because of this relationship, and just being given the space and the voice to share what I'm going through, and then being able to hear from the other people in my group, and right now Kathy, about their experiences. I guess somehow I always think, oh, like I'm the only one who this is happening to. Like everyone else has great lives and don't mess up their relationships and whatever. But I don't know. It's I also was reminded just how central the experience of suffering is to being human, and that the fact that like Kathy now 20 years later is able to look back on that experience and say, you know, like kind of I was feeling that way, and I don't know, maybe now this is how things have changed, or I don't know. I would be interested in talking more about the meaning behind these experiences and how they are helpful in the long run or teach us things. But anyway, I'll stop talking. I just want to say thank you so much for creating this space.
Thank you so much for sharing your beings with us as well. Anyone else wants to share? Oh, you can let me unmute you. Yeah. Yeah. Dale, I think you can talk now.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, thank you. One of the things that's come up is that a relationship can get broken and we can't fix it. And so we have to now learn how to deal with the fact that we have to accept that we won't be able to fix it and deal with that in some way. And that's very difficult often. So that means that we have to grow in some fashion. Yeah, so I think that's an important thing that, you know, there's a natural tendency to want to fix things, but we have to recognize that's not always going to be possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think as Junjun has mentioned, like, can we even return to the original relationships before we've broken our relationships? Maybe that's really hard or impossible. And I think that's why we are here and talking about those relationships, and also trying to figure it out how we can live with those broken relationships. Thank you for sharing, Dale. And I also see another hands up. I think I will unmute you. I cannot unmute. Ask it to unmute. Natsuha, can we unmute people to speak up? I think I cannot unmute. Yes. I saw Dr. Sen. I cannot pronounce the name.
Semichi?
Yeah. But I think she wants to speak something, but she cannot mute herself. So
she can. Yeah.
What? Wait.
Sorry, I think that my connection is not very good. You know, announcing me is not good. So just, you know, I talked with my group friends that sometimes is mostly in that time, pandemic time, we are
Perhaps there is an issue with internet connection.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you know, working or something.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, I have, my connection is not very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to, you know, that sometimes when I trust some of our friends, or maybe some of our young friends who is really good in professional field, but I trust and I wrote something, and if she is not really positive on my idea, on my opinion, then I, you know, stop it, and I just stop writing. I stop, you know, like I stay, just leave it, which is really broken my heart also. Broken relationship. I no longer I will write, and no longer I will express my idea and my what I wanted to say, and you know, that maybe broken relationship, I think.
Yeah, broken relationships. I say broken mind. Yeah, that's very true. I think the sharing time is up. Anyone wants to share? If not, we were going to have 5 minutes break, and you can turn off your video and mic off for 5 minutes.
Okay, everyone. Karen, what's the name of the song? Maybe you can type that in the chat. Thank you for sharing the nice music with us. I hope you had a little time to stretch or breathe the fresh air, or maybe take a cup of coffee or tea. Yay. Thank you for joining us again. Karen doesn't know the name of the song, so we'll try to find out and let you know later. Sorry, I felt like I froze for a second. Yeah, now you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, so now we are joining back together again. We will go to the next exercise or activity. Let me share my screen. And the last breakout room for today would be role play 2. So this time you're again going to be in the same breakout room as before, the last one with the same members as well. So you can choose one of the shared stories of the breakout room members if you want to. And then if you don't like to do that, then you are welcome to choose one of the examples of the 4 scenarios for the second breakout room that we tried as well, or any other story that you feel comfortable to try with your breakout room members. And you can decide the roles that you want to take. And this time role play would be around 5 minutes and just one time. And then you can also focus on sharing what you felt or thought or noticed while doing the role play together. and also share how we could live better with these broken relationships as well. And as Mary mentioned just before, you can use this time to also talk about the meanings behind, or just to, you know, reflect on this broken relationships example that you wanted to share more as well with your breakout room members too, if you want to. So it's up to you to decide how to use this time. We have 25 minutes to share together. So hope you have a good time in your breakout room. And if there's anything that's unclear, please let us know. And also feel free to call us in your breakout room as well as you need. We'll see you in 25 minutes.
Hello.
Hello.
28. I think everyone's here. So now we are going to have the final sharings. This time you can share your feelings. Also could be comfort or discomfort, easiness and uneasiness. And also your thoughts, your ideas, or any reflections about the broken relationships, or about these workshops, or about this space. And you don't have to always share like nice words about this. Oh, we are offering this nice space or whatever. But you can also provide a lot of critical comments, which could help us to create a better space for the following workshops. And also, as many of you have shared about this, you know, actually we're aware of those broken relationships. It's just because we don't know how to fix, we don't know how to live with those relationships. That's why we try to forget. So we also would like to, if you would like to share your thoughts, your ideas, your thinkings about how we can live better with those broken relationships. Yeah, so anyone wants to speak up, just unmute yourself, and this could be your last chance to share in this space. Oh.
Can I share something?
Yeah.
I was in the group with Hiro and Buyan Zaya, or just Zaya, and we sort of created this situation of a disagreement between parents and a child, of the child not wanting to go to school. Basically, I think some of the things that came out of our discussion were that it was very important to keep the communication going between all three people involved in the situation. And also, I personally felt that it was very important to understand each of the person's perspectives on the issue that was being discussed, so that understanding people's perspective was a key to essentially coming to making an agreement and sort of reestablishing the relationship between the three people. And there was some kind of interesting dynamics between the two parents and sort of the sort of direction that the conversation was going in between the parents and the young person. So it was a very interesting exercise. And the last thing is that maybe it was quite a challenge to come up with a scenario. So we spent quite a lot of time like talking about like how to actually design a situation where there was some kind of a relationship breakdown. But it was a really interesting exercise, and thank you very much for creating this workshop. It's my first time participating, so I really enjoyed it, and I would like to come again in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing. Ian?
Ilan.
Ilan, sorry, thank you. I think that thing will be coming back soon, so. Oh yeah, she's here.
Sorry for that. I'm back. I think that's, I think you've shared those 2 points that we would love you to share. Thank you so much for that sharing. So my net is not stable. Sorry for that. Anyone else want to?
Yeah, may I share? Yeah, I was with Matching and Hami, and there are 2 things I want to say. First one is like, because of the when we stay in the multicultural environment, everybody come from different place and different cultural background. So the behavior sometimes annoying or sometimes get in the nerve. And my friend trying to say like, you just let it because you just believe other person have a positive intention, not the negative one, not harming yourself, but they just want to express their positive intention. But now then my partner in the breakout room said, but the positive intention but bad expectation. So it makes sense somehow. And this is one. And the second one is about the interesting thing is about it's kind of not all broken, entirely broken, but partially broken and become habitual, like that our closest members of family, for example, parents and child, or the between brothers and sisters, that ages apart, like in how can I say, generational gap, sometimes causes the like difficult to communicate or difficult to go better with our relationship. And we talk about the age gaps and how we can cope with this. And we talked about empathy and sense of trust, and also just keep on trying. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, keep on trying. As Yelena mentioned, keep on communicating. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Oh, Martin.
Yeah, just to follow what we discussed, and make a more specific case as well, that I shared with Junka as well as with Hamin, my experiences. And I want to stress 2 things. Like, one, not every, it's not sometimes that, you have a broken relationship, which will imply that the whole relationship is somewhat broken, but you have from time to time a part of your relationship that is broken. Like, it could be any very tiny thing, for instance, that you notice that you don't listen to your mom, dad, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, or somebody close to you, and the other person does the same, and you create the cycle, right? And the second point, because I would like to talk and whatever, but I will try to keep it short and sweet. The second part is that it's also the question, why would you like to fix the broken relationship? Because if the answer is yes, that means that sometimes the relationship is meaningful to you, basically, that you cared for somebody person. But quite frankly, there are some relationships you don't really care about, that you wish that they're over, they're done, and you're happy with it, and the other person is happy too. I like provided during the like our talk a specific example that I used to be like an exchange student in another university in Nanjing. And I was set up in a dorm with very annoying roommate, and he thought of me the same way. And we had like many, mismatches and many, let's say, moments when we shared our discontent with the beautiful Russian, Polish, and any other language, like swearing words and so on and so on. But we wanted to get into it too much. But the point is that once we approach the end, we basically said to each other, okay, it's 1 week to the end of the semester. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. That's it. We don't need to be nostalgic and so on that, it ended, right? But also to add to what Junka said, that, sometimes we do have this good intentions, but to say it in Polish that, they're paved in the, good intentions often pave the way to hell, basically. And it's sometimes important to, have a distance towards that, the person had a good idea, and my roommate had a good idea that we could be good pals, but I wanted to study, he wanted to party, and we had the problem here. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me for this workshop, and basically that will be my take, not to carry on too much. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much for the sharing. Yes, the point you made, not every broken relationship that is dear to you, and I think it's very true. Like in our daily life, we don't have a lot of energy to deal with all the relationships we are facing with. So
yeah. As somebody of today's speaker said, that there are moments when you had very traumatizing year, or you have a very big problems with your close ones, dealing with somebody's illnesses, death, or any other stuff. That's one side, and these are very, very traumatized experience. But I just provided example of something that it's not really, but you learn from it, basically, that you see still the person from the other side, and you're like, thank you for this experience, let's move on, you have your life, and we are happy, bye-bye. That's the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of part of the self-healing processing, like how to balancing the painful experience, and to learn from that experience to make it as less painful, or be more positive, which is benefiting your future life. Thank you again for all the sharings. I think it's Natsuha to do the closing parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and ideas. I want to thank you all again, because also listening to your stories and ideas, it really inspired me to really reflect on the broken relationship or relationship building issues in my life as well, and how I can start building peace from my side too, with the persons that are surrounding me as well. So we also wanted to introduce the next workshop that we're having, again about becoming aware of broken relationships, but this time focusing in the region of Northeast Asia. So this time we will talk about the broken relationships that we might be experiencing among and between people across borders in the region of Northeast Asia. And that's happening on 20th November, Saturday again, at the same time. So we look forward to seeing you there again, if you can make it. And this is our poster, and then we'll make sure to share this poster again with you via email and also on Facebook page. And if you want to perhaps co-facilitate with us one of the on workshops in the future, if you're interested, please feel free to contact us at this email address, and then we can talk about what kind of workshop we can design together and lead together. And then on project will be going on until at least until March next year. So we are still waiting to hear from future co-facilitators. You're welcome to join us. And over to you, Dete.
Yeah, I think you can stop sharing the screen. So like to end this workshop, to end this space, we would like you to trying the Zoom filters. Have you ever used that? If some of you are joining from the website, yeah, Kaya, I saw you trying like this one. If you cannot find the filter function, you can just try to put down some funny face that you are comfortable with, and let's take a screenshot together. And I think you can unmute yourself and speak up. Can the participants unmute themselves as well?
Apparently, yes.
Whenever you want to wear with. Take a screenshot. Oh, I think Natsu's. Oh, Natsu's here. Just unmute yourself and speak up and say hi, say yes.
Thank you.
And I want to.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're going to take the screenshots.
Okay.
Stay for a while.
Okay.
Cheese.
2, 3. Another. Wait. Another one is going to be 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think I've got every one of you.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice
If
to
you
meet
can stay for a
everyone.
second.
Oh yes, for those who are new to Napi and to Ang, you can stay a little bit longer to know more about the Napi and Ang if you would like to.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.
So thank you for staying.